Welcome back to Vuln Vibes, everybody. We are diving right back into the WP Safe block today.
Yeah,
And, we talk about vulnerabilities every day here.
every day.
I think it can be a little overwhelming sometimes to site owners.
Absolutely. Yeah. Keeping up with all the updates can feel like a full-time job sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why we're here to break it down.
Exactly.
Make a little bit more sense of it all and prioritize what you need to take care of.
Absolutely. And that's what we're going to do today. We've got two plugins with some SQL injection issues to talk about.
Oh, boy.
And then the ever-popular GiveWP plugin.
GiveWP, they're back.
Back again.
With PHP object injection.
Right back at it. Yep.
So let's start out talking about this Coupon X plugin.
Okay.
Now think about those little pop-ups you see on websites that offer you, 10% off or free shipping or whatever.
So yeah.
If you
They get you every time.
sign up for their email list. Well, this is the plugin that helps create those pop-ups. But it turns out that maybe there's something a little more malicious lurking under the surface there.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a sneaky one. So it's vulnerable to something called PHP object injection, which sounds very technical. But basically, an attacker who has like contributor level access to your site
Okay.
could potentially exploit this. Now, the good news is there's no known exploit chain right now,
Okay.
like a specific way to take advantage of this.
Oh, sure.
But, just because we don't know about it
Right.
doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
And, there's always the potential for you to have another plugin installed that's vulnerable in some way that could then be chained with this vulnerability to make like a bigger problem.
I see. Okay, so this could be like the first step to something much worse.
Exact. So it's best to just update right away.
You don't want to leave that door open.
Exactly.
All right, so anybody out there using Coupon X, make sure you update right away. Next up, we have the CF internal link shortcode plugin. Internal links. I mean, how dangerous could that be?
Right. It sounds so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But turns out that, once again, even the simplest plugins can have vulnerabilities.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This one is, this one's vulnerable to SQL injection.
Okay.
And basically what that means is that it's like a hacker is able to sneak in their own little database commands into like a search or something like that,
Right.
and potentially steal information from your website that way.
Oh, wow.
And what's really bad about this one is that they don't even need to be logged into your site to do it.
Oh, no.
So that's
So anybody browsing the website could potentially exploit this.
yeah, anybody who can get to like a search bar or something like that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So anybody who is running the CF internal link shortcode plugin, definitely update right away.
Yeah, get that patched up.
All right. Well, let's move on and talk about the plugin that, we see it here pretty often on Vuln Vibes.
Every few weeks. Yeah.
It's GiveWP, the popular donations plugin. And unfortunately, GiveWP is back with some more PHP object injection issues.
Yeah, seems like they struggle a little bit with getting these fully patched.
They can be tricky, I guess, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
So what's going on this time with GiveWP?
So this time there are actually two different vulnerabilities, both PHP object injection, and they both involve the donation forms.
Okay.
So one of them specifically uses the company field. So when you're making a donation, sometimes they ask for your company name.
Yeah.
And an attacker could potentially inject some malicious code into that field.
Oh, wow.
And what could happen is some pretty serious stuff like file deletion from your server.
Oh, no.
Or even remote code execution, which is really bad.
Right.
That's where they can basically take control of your website. And the really interesting thing about this vulnerability is that it's actually a bypass of a previous fix that they implemented.
Oh.
So it seems like they're having some trouble fully locking this one down.
Yeah, it's like whack-a-mole.
Exactly, yeah.
So what about this other vulnerability?
Right, so the other vulnerability is similar in that it uses the donation forms, but it exploits some other common fields. So things like first name or last name.
Oh, wow.
So like I was saying before, you wouldn't think twice about putting your name in there.
Yeah.
But an attacker could potentially use that to sneak in some malicious code.
So what can people do to protect themselves against this vulnerability?
Well, the good news is that they did release some partial patches for these.
Okay.
But the really important thing is to make sure that you're updated to at least version 3.19.4 of GiveWP.
Okay.
That's where they finally released a complete fix for both of these vulnerabilities.
All right, so big takeaway here is update, update, update.
Yeah, that's really the most important thing you can do.
These vulnerabilities can be scary, but just keeping your plugins updated will protect you against most of them.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for joining us for another WP Safe Block here on Vuln Vibes.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
We will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.